Hello, everyone, and good morning or good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us today for the Aspen Discovery 101 webinar. My name is Jessie Zarrow, and I am the Director of Library Sales and Outreach here at Bywater Solutions, and we will be talking to you all about Aspen Discovery today. We have members of our team here that are going to be monitoring the chat and answering any questions as we go along. So we will have Cal Marquise, who is our partner engagement specialist, and she will be monitoring the chat box. You can ask questions there as long as they are also in the Q&A, either one. You can go back and forth, Q&A or chat. We also have Bill Kessler, who is our Hi, Bill, who is our Aspen sales consultant, and will be monitoring the chats. And then we also have Jordan Fields, who is our Aspen Discovery product librarian. So as we're going along, we'll be talking about just what Aspen Discovery it is, how it works with your system, and we'll be giving you a brief tour of the libraries that are using it and how it can work with your library. So Aspen Discovery has four main goals to provide your library. And the first is maximizing that patron usage of all library materials, which is so crucial in today's environment where we want our patrons and users to have access to all of the rich content that we subscribe to, whether it's in the physical library itself, or it's in one of the vendors that we subscribe to, or a rich database, or any of that archival or digitized information. When a patron performs a search, we want them to see everything that your library subscribes to. We bring that integration along with your ILS, so Aspen can talk to any ILS that is out there, along with those eContent providers. We want to make it as easy as possible for patrons to use Aspen, so they're used to those day-to-day searches that they perform, whether it's on a browser or an app, making it as easy as possible for them to explore that information. And then finally, making it easy for library administrators to customize and maintain Aspen. We want staff to feel comfortable going in, bringing in the branding from your website, making it easy to push out those lists that they may have with, staff recommendations or an upcoming holiday. And even bringing that same level of exploration for your users so they can find exactly what they're looking for. One part of the Aspen Discovery system is the rich community that you are a part of. Currently, there's over 500 libraries that have been implemented and are using Aspen Discovery, from consortia to single libraries across the US and the world. There are libraries that are using Aspen Discovery to explore all of that information within those rich collections. There are monthly gatherings which allow librarians and users and developers to share ideas about what they're using in their discovery, and also talk about that roadmap, about what they're going to see in those upcoming releases for Aspen Discovery. You'll also see integrations. There are dozens of integrations with vendors, databases, and more to make Aspen Discovery the most used case for libraries to bring all of that information into one place. And then finally, development. This is where we'll talk a little bit about the enhancements that you'll see for Aspen Discovery that are deployed to the system monthly. So right now there's a continuous development cycle where you'll see those monthly enhancements. All right, now let's jump in and talk about a quick demonstration of how Aspen Discovery can work for your library. And we'll show you some of those libraries that are actually using Aspen Discovery. So first, we're going to start with McKinney Public Library. They're in Texas, and they're one of our newest libraries that are moving over to Aspen Discovery. And one of the things that really excites us as librarians is the availability to customize and bring a personal touch into your themes. So you can see here, they've branded it for fall, where they can just make it easy to update, bring in their McKinney Public Library's logo their slogan, unique by nature, and really make it stand out. So when their users are at the City of McKinney website or they come to the catalog, they have that seamless integration. So it's easy for them to explore what's in that collection. So branding and customization is important for all of our libraries, making sure that we can populate and really show off the richness of our libraries. Another example we have here is Coastline Libraries, and they are out in the state of Oregon. And we wanted to talk about Coastline a little bit so you can see how consortias work for libraries. And so you'll see here, this is their main page, Coastline Libraries. They have an easy drop down for their patrons and users to explore all of the libraries that are part of that consortium. And so what we thought we would start with today is just showing you how unique Aspen is for consortias, making it really easy for them to essentially bring together all of those collections within the system, but then also highlighting what a single library within that consortia looks like. So we'll start by just doing a basic search. I'm going to search for Gone Girl. So one of the first unique things you see about Aspen is you get that predictive text. It's going to show us a drop down of text that it's predicting, whether it's a title or a subject in the system. Once that user performs a search in the system, it's going to bring back a list of results. So you'll be able to see right here, it shows us the entire collection. So as I'm scrolling through, I can not only see the video, but also the book and the book on CD and the audiobook and the ebook. Those results are grouped together, making it easy for the patron to see all of the formats that are available for them. So instead of searching through a long list, they can see right away the formats that they can read or listen to for that particular title. Now, as part of the consortium, they can see all of those results right away. So they can see the multiple libraries that have an available copy of that. Now, let's take a look at one of the libraries within Coastline Libraries. So we're going to jump over to Coos Bay. So we talked about that theming and branding. Again, you can see now how Coos Bay has brought in the colors and the themes from their rich logo, providing that information right to their users that they're used to seeing. Now this time we're going to perform that same search. So we'll come in here and we'll do that same search for Gone Girl. I get that predictive text, and then as we get those results back, you'll notice here that within the system we have the entire collection, but we can also see what's available just at Coos Bay Public Libraries. Again, really making it easy for the patron of Coos Bay to see exactly what's available. So in this case, Aspen points out right away, okay, that book is checked out, but it is available elsewhere. And then they can see all of those other formats that are available. So Aspen will make it easy for that user to decide right away, do I want to wait and check for that other book copy, or maybe I'll decide to just quickly grab a copy and read it on my Kindle, making it really easy for the user to come down and select the format that they're looking for. So with Aspen Discovery, your consortium can customize that information, especially when it comes down to that eContent integration. You know, many times in a consortia, some of the libraries may subscribe to Overdrive, others may subscribe to Hoopla or Cloud Library. You can take those different vendors and make it so when your patron performs that search, they just get the results that your library subscribes to. That is part of the personal touch that we provide at Bywater Solutions and Aspen Discovery to make sure when you are implementing your discovery layer that you hit all of those pieces to make it, again, very easy for your user to explore. Now let's talk about another library. Here you'll see Oak Park Public Library. They are part also of a larger consortium in the state of Illinois called Swan Libraries. And as you can see here, Oak Park has brought in their logo and then their unique colors and themes. I'm going to take a minute now to talk a little bit about browse categories. Browse categories are a way for staff to customize curated lists for patrons to explore when they come to the discovery layer. So think about your day-to-day life. You know, we have things like Disney Plus and Netflix and Hulu, and those are all ways for us to explore, you know, things that we might want to watch. Aspen gives us that same experience. With browse categories, your users can explore by a particular category. And those categories can even be broken down into subcategories. So if we're looking for something specific, we can jump right into that information. And these browse categories are so easy to be set up. When a staff member is performing a search, they can create that browse category based on a search. So guess what that means? Anytime a new title is added to the collection, that search is automatically updated if it matches that search parameter. So it's an easy way for staff to really curate a rich collection and get that information out to the user. Now, we'll talk about a few examples that we really get excited about on the Aspen Discovery team here. One is just seeing some of the searches that individuals put out. So let's do just a quick search for Lego Star Wars. Here you'll see that you can even bring in things like video games for users to explore. So remember, the #1 goal of Aspen is to make sure that you have all materials out there. So if you have video games, we've seen people do it with puzzles, you know, whatever it is, it gives your user that rich experience. So in this case, I can see all of the different platforms that are available, whether I have a PlayStation or an Xbox or a Nintendo 3DS, I can see all of the copies that are available. And if I just want to see what's available at my library, I can take it a step further and see that Oak Park Public Library has available in the system. So just an easy way for your users to explore that information. We're going to do another quick search here and talk just a little bit about the richness of collections that a user can explore with Aspen Discovery. In this case, we are going to do a search for Atwood. So we can talk about just some of the information that Aspen can aggregate and bring together. So we've been doing searches in the library catalog, which again, you'll see those grouped formats available. This time we're going to switch and we're going to do a combined results search. What this allows the user to do is see all of the results that are available from lists, from any archival information, from the catalog, from your articles and databases that it's pulling in. So now I can see catalog results that bring back Margaret Atwood. I can see articles and databases that are available. And I can even take it a step further and see any lists or any Digital Public Library of America integration. So now the user can take that and explore all of the rich collection that is available for that user. Just a great way to explore it. Now we're going to bring in one more example here to show you, and that is Uinta County Library out in Utah. And Uinta County Library in Utah is a part of a shared system that has implemented all features of Aspen Discovery. They are actually using the web builder feature for Aspen Discovery, which allows them to build out their website or individual pages within their discovery layer. So as we're looking at Uinta County and we scroll through, you can see that on the main page, we can view any upcoming events. And this is part with integration of Library Market. So we can see those real live results for any upcoming events at the library. As I scroll down a little bit further, we can see some featured activities. The web builder allows us to easily bring in images so we can see that information. And as we scroll down, we can see things that they've highlighted, like featured services. Creative Bug is one of my favorite. So it's really nice to kind of see that we can highlight those different subscriptions that the library has for our user. As we scroll down a little bit more, you can even see a collection spotlight. Now, a collection spotlight is a way for your staff to really highlight different curated collections. So very similar to those browse categories where we can highlight a curated collection. This lets us take it one step further. Those collection spotlights will allow us to either embed it on our website or within the discovery layer itself. So you can see here, they're talking about book club picks. Now, as I scroll down a little bit further, you're going to see things again that they're highlighting. Again, services, movies, and more. Now, for those of you who might be thinking about things like how are they displaying those cover images or those movie images here on the pages, Aspen Discovery does work with multiple vendors. So if you use Content Cafe or Syndetics, you can bring that information in. And then there's also free services that work within Aspen Discovery, such as the COSI server. The COSI server will allow you to bring in cover images for book titles. It will check Amazon, Google Jackets, and open libraries. You also have a free resource for movie images, and that utilizes the Open Movie Database. So now your users have a rich collection that they can see that visual aspect of the book too. For all of those people that come in and say, well, I remember that it had a red title. They can see that integration in there. Now let's do a couple quick searches here so you can see what that looks like. I'm going to do one for quilters. You'll know all of my favorite hobbies by the end of this demo. And I'm just going to do a basic search within the system. So you'll see here, as I scroll down, I can see the entire collection. So it's showing me a title match here in the beginning and all of those available formats. Again, you can see here if it's checked out or if it is available online. As I scroll down again, we're going to see some more results, and then I'll get this Explore More section. So the Explore More section is going to bring in any other resource that we have available. So in the first result, you can see that there's an upcoming Quilters at the Library event on September 30th. You can see here's a list that's been curated by staff on quilting fiction. You can also see an archive that's been brought in. And then over here, you can also see an obituary. So let's just take a look at some of those results. So for this first one, I'm going to click on that. That's going to take me right out to the library market event where the user can see that title right away. They can easily jump back to the discovery layer where they can keep exploring those. So if I click on that quilting fiction, that will take me in where now I can see the list that has been created by staff. And as I scroll through, I can see all of those different titles that are available. Who knew there was such a large quilting fiction collection that I think we might have to read. From here, patrons can email the list to themselves or another individual. They can print it off. If they were working on a research project and they needed to generate citations for something, they even have that option as well. Another result here is you will see the integration of archival information. So Uinta County brings in their digital library from the University of Utah, part of their state system, where they're getting results from the archives. So again, this gives the user access to this rich, beautiful image with all the metadata below that they can see, pulling in information about those quilters. So now they're exploring all of this information. You'll notice we even get a section here for an obituary. So Uinta is utilizing the genealogy option within Aspen Discovery. So that allows them to bring in obituaries where they can see the image of this individual, pertinent information about her, and then her life. So this is a really nice way to bring that information in. We can see that she was a knitter and a quilter and even an avid librarian. Just getting excited. So this is a fantastic way to see all of the resources that come in. So with just that basic search of quilters, I was open to a rich availability of not only books and eContent in the collection, but also events and archival information and genealogy. So you see with that #1 goal of Aspen as maximizing all of those resources, we're getting those results right away within the system. And again, just a few more examples with Uinta here. You can see right across the top, utilizing some of the features for kids and teens. We're interested about the code club. This takes me right in where I can see a short little video, making it really easy to embed those videos. I can see another spotlight where it shows me some of those titles that would be available as I'm getting ready to start. And then of course the event integration, so I can see the next library code club that is coming up. Part of that really easy search, we did the library catalog, but the user can also just search events. So if they're interested in seeing not only what events are available at the library or a specific topic, they can perform that search. You'll notice over here on the left-hand side, they can even use the facets to narrow down those results. So making it extremely easy for them to find exactly what they're looking for. Okay, so now we are going to jump back over to our demo site for Aspen Discovery. And we talked about a lot of the features that Aspen Discovery has. Now we'll tell you how staff can work to make all of this information available for your library. So we'll start with just the basics. So as far as the customization goes for your themes, when you're setting up Aspen Discovery, you work one-on-one with our Aspen Discovery implementation team. We'll talk a little bit about the implementation process here at the end, but they will work with you. Every library has different policies and procedures and different ways of bringing information in, and they work one-on-one with you to make sure that all of those resources are available and discoverable in Aspen. So depending on how you want to set that information up, they will work with you to customize that. You can even bring in things like your footer to give them that seamless movement between their website and the discovery layer. Now let's talk a little bit about searching. So when you're performing a search in Aspen Discovery, most of our patrons have really been used to doing basic searches and some advanced. And you will notice that Aspen Discovery does have an advanced search feature, which allows them to use those traditional Boolean connectors and filtering options. But what Aspen Discovery does a fantastic job of is allowing the user to come in and find exactly what they're looking for. So I'm going to perform a search for Harry Potter. So the first thing you'll see here are predictive texts. So it's giving me title suggestions, subject suggestions, which I can come down and select, or I can start by just doing a basic search. Aspen Discovery is going to bring back those results right within the system, so I can see exactly the titles that I'm looking for. You'll notice over here on the left-hand side, our users can narrow down their results by using the facets. If they're looking for a particular eContent provider, or maybe they're at school and they're looking for a particular accelerated reading level, they can come in and narrow down those results. Your staff, when working to implement Aspen Discovery, can choose from over 30 different facets to customize how your users search. This allows you to essentially let them hit that drop down, select them, lock them, and search for that title. In the center of the screen, you'll see right at the top that they can also narrow down by a specific format. So let's say we were getting ready to go on a road trip and we wanted to listen to a Harry Potter on that road trip, and we wanted to just look at those audiobooks. I could select that audiobook and it would show me that available format. Now, it's just a great way for users to narrow down and find exactly what they're looking for. Now, let's go into a little more detail about what that grouping looks like for the user. So you'll see here, they'll be able to see the title, author, and series information. Down below, we can then see all of the formats that are available for our users. It will also group together our editions, so we can see not only the 1997 edition, but also the 2015 edition that's available. the user can select from the more info and they can see a little more information about that particular title. Also from this main screen, they'll be able to begin that process of either placing a hold or checking that title out from one of the eContent providers that are available. If they want to see a little more information about this particular title, they can jump right into the more information. This will give them a little more details about the description. They can see titles that are also in the series. So if this was the first time that they were reading Harry Potter and they were just getting into it, they can see all of those titles in the series. And as I scroll down, I can even see other suggestions. So other titles like this. If your library subscribes to Novelist Select, they'll even be able to see things like similar series from Novelist, similar titles from Novelist, and even similar authors from Novelist. So again, a way for them to explore more within the collection that they might not have been used to in the past. So let's say I was interested in looking at The Magic Thief. I can click right on that title and it will take me to that result within Aspen Discovery. So they can, either check it out from Hoopla or maybe add it to their list to read at a later time. Now, the other thing that you'll see within the detailed view of this record is the staff view. So a lot of times librarians will want to come in and look at information. So if you are interested in seeing like where that image is being sourced from or any of that accelerated reader information, this will give you that quick access look so you can see that information within that grouped record. Now there's another way for your user to look at the series information, and this allows them to jump right in and it gives them a really clean look at what's available in that particular series. So as I'm scrolling through, I can see that series information starting with book 1, and rolling down to the last book in the system. So again, just another way for the user to explore more of that information about the series in the collection. Now let's perform another search here in the system. And this time we're just going to do a basic search for gardening. So as I perform that search, I get that predictive text, but this time we're going to see something else pop up, and that is the use of a placard. This is a way for your library to advertise something that may be really exciting or something that's going on at your library. Maybe it's a database that you want to get some more exposure. Maybe it's an event that you have going on, or maybe it's a partnership with your local university for the master gardening class. So in this case, you can see I did a search for gardening, and that brings up the local partnership that we have for the Florida Master Gardener Program. And this gives them more information where they can click out and learn about what that UF extension has to offer. So these are great ways for the library to essentially create a beautiful design and then highlight something in your collection. We've seen this used for Mango Languages, BrainFuse, and different databases out there. You can even use this to highlight events. The Placards feature on the staff side has a way for you to set a start and an end date. So if we have an event happening on Thursday, September 30th, we can have it expire afterwards. That way, on October 1st, when we perform that same search, that placard will not pop up. Placards can also have different triggers. So maybe I do a search for Master Gardener, I will get that pop up. So there's powerful ways for staff to really allow their users to explore for something in the collection and have that placard just give them one more piece of your rich collection to explore. Now, again, as we scroll down, we're going to see those results in the system, and then you'll notice we get that Explore More section. Now, here's another feature we'd like to talk about with Aspen Discovery, and that's integration of your website. So whether you are on your city or county website, or you have your own standalone website, you can also index or bring those results directly into Aspen Discovery. So here you'll see one of our partners, Pueblo City County Library in Colorado, and that is bringing up some of their remote resources. So as I scroll through the programs here, you'll see that some of them are for gardening. So this is just a great way, again, to bring all of those results that are available in the collection into the hands of your users. So again, exploring more of that information. Now, let's say as I'm scrolling through this long list, I don't find exactly what I'm looking for. Dependent on the number of results that you would like shown to your user, when they hit the bottom, I have ours set to 20. This will show them other options. In this case, if you participate in an ILL program, you can have them submit a request through ILL, or if you use things like material requests or purchase suggestions, you can even have them come in and submit a suggestion in the system. So again, giving them more access to communicate with you at the library, dependent on what your policies or procedures are. We're going to do one more search here, and again, just show another really powerful feature of Aspen Discovery is what Aspen will do for you if you mistakenly type out an author's last name incorrectly, you just can't remember how to spell it, or I am often one of the worst for spelling things as I'm typing entirely too fast. So let's say we come in here and mistakenly typed in Fantastic Mr. Fox. You'll notice it does give me that predictive text, but as I perform that search, it will show us results for Fantastic Mr. Fox, but I'll also get search instead for the misspelling that I performed. So again, your users are used to seeing that when they perform search in a browser, for results, and they get that same experience here. They'll get that showing results for, but they can go back and search for those other ones if it's a unique last name. Now, let's take a little bit of time to log into the system. So now we can explore what the user sees. So I'm going to come in and log in as a patron. You'll notice here it allows me to log in as either a username and password, or maybe a card number and PIN. There are options that you can turn on if you forgot your password, so a patron can easily reset it if they have an email set up in their system. And if your library does use self-registration, this gives the opportunity for them to register for a new library card. These are all things that you can turn on or turn off, dependent on what you do at your library. Once we sign in, the user will be able to jump into their account. So you'll notice over here on the right-hand side, I can now see CMW, and this allows me to jump into some of my titles in the collection. So this will show me anything that I have checked out in the system, both physically and from any of those online providers. So if I come over to that physical material, I can see things that are overdue, and I can also see how long they're overdue. If I was eligible for an automatic renewal, I can see that information over here as well. In my Overdrive, I can also see titles that I have checked out. So whether I started within the vendors app first, or I came to Aspen Discovery first and I performed that search, that is going to show me those relevant results that I have checked out. In this case, you can see I have options to download the format, and then I can also listen online right away. If I have options to renew, I can do that, and I can also return them. Now, some really strong features with Aspen is the option for your users to get suggestions. Now, you're going to see these all throughout Aspen Discovery. And here's one example where you get the "you might also like." So what this will do is this will provide 3 recommendations for other titles that the user might be interested in, and they can jump in and explore more of that. You'll see that same experience for holds. So when patrons are managing their holds, what they physically have checked out, they'll be able to see any holds that are ready for pickup. And then of course, any holds that are pending, meaning they are still waiting to be returned, or it's an on-shelf hold, or waiting for that hold to be triggered or trapped in the system. Aspen Discovery also has an option for users to freeze holds. Think of this option as you're either going on vacation and you want to temporarily freeze it so you don't lose your place in line, or maybe you are going on an extended trip where you will not be at your home location for a period of time. This gives the user an opportunity to essentially freeze it until a specific date or indefinitely. They will also get that same experience here. You can see we get the while you wait. So while they're waiting for that easy crochet dishcloths, you can come in here and see those titles right within the system, and then link out and either read it from your mobile device or right online. And speaking of mobile devices, for those of you that are thinking about it, Aspen is built on a mobile responsive site. So if you do open it up on your phone or tablet, it will be easily explorable. And there is also an Aspen Discovery app called Lita, which can be downloaded from the Google Play Store or iOS for Apple. So it's just a great way, giving your user many different options for them to easily have access to that title in the collection. Now, again, depending on what your library policy is, you have options to let the patron opt into reading history. So in this case, I have opted in to view my reading history. So I can come in here and see those titles that I have checked out in the past. I can also search or filter for those titles. They can stop recording their reading history at any time and even delete that. And as I mentioned before, you're going to see that you might also like in various places. Again, you never know where your user is going to think about, oh, I really love patchworking and quilting. What else can I explore? So it's just a really nice way for them to see, what else is out there in the collection. This is a great time to talk about, we are probably all interested in seeing statistics on, what librarians have created and how our patrons are accessing them. And we've gotten a lot of feedback from our libraries that have implemented Aspen Discovery that statistics have increased, because now our users are exploring more of the collection that they may not have seen in the traditional OPAC. And it's a nice way to watch as those circulation counts rise, because now people are finding exactly what they were looking for. Now, depending on if you assess fines or have fines in your system, Aspen can also integrate with various e-commerce providers, or they can just see what they have that's for fines in their system. If you allow purchase suggestions or material requests, this is a great way for them to see what they've suggested, and also submitting one of those material requests or purchase suggestions in the system. Staff can work to essentially say which fields are required and which aren't, and then bringing that information back to the librarians. Now, another powerful feature of Aspen Discovery is the ability to essentially rate titles that an individual has liked. So in this case, you can see here's a few titles where we've recommended Gone Girl or Girl on the Train, and some of them in the system. And you can see they have either 5 stars or all the way down to 1 star. What Aspen Discovery will do is, once your patron has started providing those ratings, it will start giving recommendations. So in this case, we'll be able to see some of the recommendations based on what I've liked. So this is a great way for users to see suggestions, again, getting more access to the collection that they may not have explored in the past. And if there's something that maybe they started reading and they didn't like, they can actually come in and say, don't recommend, and then it'll remove that from the list. So again, just a great way for them to see a little more about what is available in that collection based on their reading needs. Now, we'll continue with talking a little bit about some of their account preferences. So one of the first ones, and I will say I'm totally guilty of this, forgetting my library card, but of course I do have my phone. I can open up Aspen Discovery on my phone, whether it's the app or the browser, if I'm on Safari or Chrome, and I have my library card available right away. So again, I'm walking up to self-check. I can grab my phone, put it under there, and begin that process. Another feature here you'll see is something we call linked cards. This is a way for you to link other members of your family or partners, or you're a guardian ad litem, or you are taking care of an older aunt or uncle. You can actually link your cards together. So this is agnostic from your ILS. This is something where the user would add an account into their system, and then that will show those linked accounts. So in this case here, you can see I am logged in as Sam Wise. I can see that I can also view Tina B's information. When the user is adding an account, they would have to know the username and password or card number or PIN. Within that, they can also see other accounts that can view mine. So I know that Tina B can also view my Sam Wise account. This will show me things like checked out titles. So if we go back and we look at our checked out titles, you'll notice Tina has some of those overdues, and so do I. So they'll be able to see that information as far as holds go and those finds and messages. What they will not see is reading history. So reading history will always be just that individual. Linked cards is something that you can turn on and off. I can remove Tina at any time. If I update my password or PIN, that would automatically disconnect our accounts. So you do have options when you're thinking about setting these up. Users can set their preferences. This is huge for any user, no matter what platform you're using. This is a great way for them to come in. They can set their language preference. So Aspen can have over 7 different languages that can be integrated and turned on for the user. And that number is growing as more and more libraries start implementing Aspen Discovery. You can set preferred pickup locations and home libraries right within those preferences. You can update contact information and messaging settings. If you prefer to receive text messages over emails, you can see that information. Now, in this particular example, my Aspen Discovery is connected to Koha ILS, and those are the messaging settings that are pulling in. So if you are on another ILS, such as a III product or a TLC product or Cersei Dynex, it will pull those messaging settings in so your user can essentially set their preferred recommendation. There's also an option for you to turn on search history. And the one thing that really hits home for me as a patron is the availability to save searches. We all have our favorite authors that we like to read, or maybe a topic. This allows users to save their search. So Jodi Picoult is one of my favorite authors. So this allows me to save the search, and I can see if there's any new titles that have come in, or maybe there's a title that I want to go back and reread. I can come in here and just quickly go in and look at that information. The last thing we'll talk here about with accounts is the functionality and the powerful resources that you have for lists. This is a way for the user essentially to create a personalized list in the system where they can add titles to it. So in this case, you can see we have a couple different titles for camping where we can jump right into those titles. From this list, users can come in. We'll take a look at Halloween since we have a Halloween coming up pretty soon. You can see here, we can even bring in things like eContent, eMusic, eMagazines. So it's not just those traditional books, but also what's available in that entire collection. Users can email that list to themselves. They can print off a list. They can even change the way things are sorted. So if this was truly what you want to read next, you can move things up and down in your list. It's just a really nice way. Now, a powerful feature of lists is that staff can also use lists as a way to create those browse categories or collection spotlights in the system. It's a unique link that you can share with others. Emailing a list is very easy. I can come in here, add an address, who it's from, and even a little customized message and send that off to, let's say, my sister, because we're really getting excited about Halloween and we want to read something. It's just a really nice way to share that information. Now, I'm going to pause for just a second here and we'll log into the back end of Aspen Discovery so you can just see the features that are available for your staff when you're setting up the system. And again, our Aspen Discovery 101 is a way for us to share as much information about Aspen that's available to the user. And we'd love to set up a time to do a more personalized demo for you so you can see just how your libraries can bring in all of those resources. But here's a look at Aspen Discovery Administration. So essentially your staff are assigned permissions to log into Aspen Discovery. This allows them to come in and see that information, you know, whether it's setting up new users, viewing statistical reports. So you can look at the usage statistics dashboard. So not only for your consortium, but a single branch as well. And I can see, you know, page views, sessions, searches, and there's even these beautiful visual graphs where you can kind of see that raw data and where the movement is going. Also within Aspen Administration, this is where you're going to see things like setting up your themes, bringing in that branding and those colors. And this gives you the opportunity to just see the flexibility when you're creating this, easily pulling in either your hex color or your RGB to essentially really make that Aspen Discovery interface match what your theme is in the system. Also within your administration, you are going to see things like creating those individual web pages, setting up your system with your ILS, turning on multiple languages, you know, creating those browse categories and those placards. You know, it's very easy to bring those in, assign those trigger words. Here's a great one for any of you that might subscribe to Career Online. This is a way that you can bring in and you can see various different trigger words. So whether I search for GED or diploma or high school diploma, I will get this placard that pops up. And let's say this was an event. You could even hit that start and end date, and it can be applicable to one library, not to all libraries within the system. So again, lots of ways to customize information within the system. This is where you're also going to see the setup of the backend. So if you're using e-commerce, if you want to turn on things like Accelerated Reader or the New York Times API, easily bringing in what titles are on New York Times this week, and it will look for those in your collection. Again, saving staff time. And then of course, down below, you're going to see things like those e-content providers. So Hoopla, Access 360, Overdrive, and, you know, essentially turning on those e-content providers so we get that real-time availability in the system. Now, Aspen also provides what we refer to as side loading. So the basics of that would be you get MARC records from one of your vendors, and perhaps one of those vendors don't have a API or an easy way to send that information directly to Aspen Discovery for real-time results. What this would allow you to do is essentially bring those MARC records in right through Aspen to have them display within the system. Finally, we'll tie things up with the Aspen Discovery team here and what is available for you. You'll have access to a help manual. You can view the release notes. Again, we mentioned earlier that releases are continuous. So every month you'll see a new release. And if you're interested, you can even look at all the details in that release, you know, viewing screenshots and telling you exactly what kind of updates you're going to see in the system. And part of the support package that Bywater Solutions provides, you can also submit a ticket right through the system. So you notice that you want to add a new provider that you have, or you have a question about how something works. This allows you essentially to submit that ticket and send it right back to the library support team here at Bywater Solutions. So we are going to just quickly wrap things up by just talking a little bit about what the implementation process looks like. And the one thing that we really like to pride ourselves on is just the open source support that Bywater Solutions brings. Bywater Solutions has been working with open source communities since 2009, and we really value being able to work with libraries one-on-one to empower them. And so we bring that same personal touch to Aspen Discovery when we're doing your implementation. So, taking it from that configuration and integration training, we ask you, what are you working with? Overdrive, Hoopla. We work with you to set that information up. We help you customize your catalog so you truly understand how your users are searching and what they see, making it easy for them to understand, what's on order or what's available right now. We provide Discover More training, so you can bring all of those pieces right within Aspen. So when your users perform that search, they see what's in that rich collection, whether it's a subscription or a database or an event. And then finally, working one-on-one with frontline staff and administration, so we can give them the best patron experience when they're showing users just how Aspen Discovery works. And we wanted to share just one of the quotes that our partners had shared with us. And they said, we could not have asked for a better experience with Bywater. Migrating our websites and OPAC to Aspen Discovery has fully integrated all of our services into one place and really gives us the tools we needed to move our libraries forward. And that's what we want. We want our open source community to feel that they have power, to bring all of those resources that they have to their patrons. We want to help them build their community, and Aspen Discovery is just one way to do that. We do have a couple upcoming webinars in the Aspen Discovery series. So if you're interested, Cal will be doing a fantastic presentation next month on promoting events, electronic resources, and eContent. And then in November, Addie, who's our implementation specialist lead, and I will be talking a little bit about how you can implement Aspen Discovery within your consortium. So these are free webinars that we offer every month with different topics. And so please join us for those next upcoming ones. And if you have any questions, I'm sure there's been active chat going on. And if you have questions, Bill would be happy to answer those. Bill is our amazing Aspen sales consultant. You can either email him or set up some time to connect. So I'm going to pause and just see if there's anything else that we can talk about or answer any questions.
Yes, Jesse, I think I have two areas that if you could talk about, I think it's just easier and it'll be quicker than doing it through the chat.
Sure, go ahead.
Would you mind just speaking about like the Overdrive, how and similar like eContent providers and how they're linked or added through APIs and how that integration works?
Absolutely. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to log back in here again. So I'll do a quick search where we can see the results in here, and we'll go through the process of like checking out a title. So the first thing I'll say is there are all of the major eContent providers: Overdrive, Hoopla, Cloud Library, Access 360, utilize APIs. And what that allows us to do is that gives us real-time results from those vendors that can be pulled directly into Aspen Discovery. So for years prior, you probably received MARC records from one of those vendors, and you were uploading them into your OPAC or your staff client, so they display in your OPAC. And one of the hardships with that process is, you have some publishers that after 25 circs, the license goes away, or after a period of time, the license goes away. So you'd have to log in, update those holdings. With the API connection, it's real-time availability. So you don't have to worry about updating anything that you've purchased or removing titles. The connection will do that. For other eContent providers that do not have that API availability, this allows you to bring those in. So I'm going to start first by, we're just going to do a basic search here and we'll show you what the checkout process looks like. So I am logged in as a patron. I'm logged in as Sam Wise, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to select my eContent provider as Overdrive. So this will show me any of the titles that are available for me to check out. Now you'll notice with Overdrive, I do have options where I can preview the issue. So this is going to give me a quick modal box that'll pop up, and I can actually just do a quick look at what's in this particular one. The other way is just coming in here and checking out that particular, in this case, e-magazine. So I will click that button. It's going to give me another modal window, and it's going to ask me, who do I want to check it out to? In this case, I have a linked account. So I'm going to go with Sam Wise, and I'm going to check out that title. Now it tells me right away if it's been successful or not. So an unsuccessful checkout might be is maybe my library only allows 10 Overdrive titles at once. You know, I tried to check out the 11th, I would get that notice. So now it tells me the title was checked out successfully. So I can go directly to Aspen Discovery and view my checkouts. It will show me, you know, what I have checked out from Overdrive. So I can come and, you know, look at that information. I can read it online. If I, you know, walked away from my desktop and I opened up my phone, it would also already show in my Libby app. So you can see that information right away. So however your user likes to read it. If they downloaded a, you know, or checked out a Kindle title, they could go to their Kindle and read it. So they'll see those in all of the places. It works like that for Cloud Library, Access 360, and Hoopla. So you can listen right away, you can check them out, I can even return them. So, you know, let's say I was done looking through this particular one, I can say return now. It's going to give me a pop-up. Are you sure you want to return this title? I can click OK. It tells me that title was returned. So again, if you decide to implement Aspen Discovery, in part of the implementation process is we work with you and we'll ask you, you know, what are all the e-content providers that you subscribe to? You know, maybe you subscribe to Canopy and you want to bring in those streaming videos, Overdrive, Creative Bug, whatever it is, we'll work with you to bring in those connections so your users can easily check those titles out.
Thanks, Jessie. Can you also just touch a little bit on, we had a question about like the analytics and the statistics that are available with Aspen. You know, obviously like privacy concerns coming up, and I linked the Aspen Weekly that relates to the statistics, but maybe you could just show like a dashboard or something like that. Talk a little bit about it.
You got it.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to log back in now as a administrator. So we took a quick snapshot here. So some libraries might use Google Analytics to track statistics. If you can continue to use Google Analytics, but Aspen Discovery does have options. We looked at the usage dashboard under the system report, but you'll see some of those dashboards in various other topics. And since we were just talking about eContent, we'll also talk about, let's go to Overdrive and we'll look at that dashboard. So you can see here, this will give us a dashboard of the Overdrive integration. So I can see the active users for the month, the year, records with usage, any type of failed logins, holds, frozen holds, downloads, things like that. And then I can also view it as a graph. So just as I could in the other usage dashboard, this will show me the total titles, unique users, holds that were attempted or failed, renewals, early returns, total holds canceled. So you can see all of that information right away. And so you'll see this, that dashboards are growing. So this was something that Mark had a vision for with like system reports. And then as people have made suggestions, you'll see dashboards pop up in a lot of these different areas where you can explore a lot more of those statistics. But again, if your library is using things like Google Analytics, you can still integrate that as well.
And just to clarify, it does just track the actual like numbers, not the patron usage, correct? For privacy. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
All right. Are there any other questions that we can answer?
I think everything else I was able to answer in the chat, but thank you for clarifying those two things.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us today, everyone. And if you have any other questions or would like to set up a personalized demo, please let us know, and you can see Bill's contact information right there. We'd love to speak with your libraries. Thank you. Have a great day.